10 years ago, on this date, September 22nd of 2013, I was struck by a Volkswagen Passat while riding a bicycle. The woman who hit me ran a stop sign while only looking to her left to see if she can turn onto the road without stopping. She was in a hurry to see her doctor about her heart. She admitted she shouldn't have been driving. I still remember very vividly seeing her heading straight toward me and that there was no way to evade this car. I remember this car first hit my leg, which leveraged the rest of my body to slam on the hood. Bam! She had a delayed reaction, keeping her foot on the gas. The forward momentum sucked my body up to her windshield. Vertebrae by vertebrae, I felt my entire spine, from base to skull, twist until just before she slammed the brakes, the back of my head hit her windshield. When she slammed the brakes, my body then flew 40 to 50 feet forward in the air. I landed flat on my belly after spinning mid-air a few times. Chin slammed to the asphalt. Adrenaline kicks in as I see rush hour traffic going 45 miles an hour heading my way. I instantly jumped up to my feet and within seconds avoided the possibility of other cars running me over. At this point, I was delirious and confused. I started emptying my pockets and started rambling things like, God, why did I just get hit for the third time? Am I not doing everything right in my life? I'm confused. Why? I was almost about to take my clothes off until the woman who hit me and the man from the house from where the accident happened told me to sit down. I felt like I was hallucinating and thought I was seeing my leg broken. I glanced up at the woman who hit me. She had peed her pants. When I finally began to calm down, the woman was owning fault to everything. She offered to buy me a new bike and whatever I needed. Meanwhile, I'm still shocked that only 3 weeks prior, I was just hit by a Chevy Astrovan that cut my thigh open in 3 places. What did I do to deserve this? What karma have I caused? I wondered to myself. Instead of calling the cops to file a report, I accepted the woman's offer to take me to the hospital. It was such a strange experience. After checking into the ER, she leaves and gives me a weird grin that made me feel uneasy about things that I really couldn't identify. Before being seen for the accident, there was this very strange moment where a doctor walks through the main lobby of the waiting area in the emergency hospital. He's talking directly to me from across this big area with all these people. He walks up to a computer that a nurse was on and started telling me that he's sorry for what happened, but he needs to update my vaccines. He's on the computer, and I'm confused as to why this doctor is addressing me like this, and why not wait till I was called in and properly put in a room. While I'm watching him and hearing him tell me about updating my immunization records, a nurse comes out of nowhere, and before I could say anything, she already had a needle in my right arm, injecting I don't know what into me. The nurse walks off. She didn't say a single word to me. She snuck up on me, injected me, and walked off. Once she was done, the doctor walks off. Now I know you might be wondering, why didn't he just ask what this is? Why didn't he just ask clarifying questions? But you have to remember, I had just gotten hit by a car and hit my head pretty hard, the back of my head. And this was the 3rd car that had hit me in 6 months. I was in a very strange place, energetically, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was hypnotized in a sort of way. There I was, sitting in the lobby of the emergency section of a big hospital, in pain, confused, sitting and waiting. It was a few minutes later where I was called in to be seated in a room and assessed from the accident. A different nurse checks my vitals and I get physically examined, no broken bones after some x-rays. I was discharged. The first time I was hit by a car, I went to the hospital, but after sitting for a short while in the lobby, I decided I was okay and left the building. The second time I was hit by a car, I didn't go to the hospital. I went home feeling invincible and only slightly injured and sore. The third car that hit me was the most intense and damaging accident to my body. A year later, I took the woman to small claims court as she was denying her insurance claims to cover my medical bills. In court, she bold-faced lied to the judge, saying that she was stopped at the stop sign and that I actually ran into her. She had photos showing where her car was damaged and changed the entire story of what happened. I stood there baffled at how this person can lie like this. We argued briefly until the judge said he will make the decision and send us the verdict in the mail. When I got back to Oregon, I opened the letter and saw that I had lost the case and was told to never bother this person again. I felt angry, helpless, and so wronged. I was a victim and no one was helping me. I decided to move on and be grateful. I got back in shape and was actually in a better physical condition than ever before. I even rode my bike from the Oregon coast to Portland in one day. A journey of over 100 miles and 2 mountains, each over 5,000 feet in elevation. In all honesty, I am a strong animal with a determination to push through anything. But then 2016 comes around, 3 years after getting hit by cars 3 times. The summer of 2016, I started to experience neurological issues and problems with my nervous system. One day, I woke up and was in excruciating pain throughout my body. It made no sense to me. It's been 3 years and I've been physically great. Why is this happening? At that time, I was working for a glazing company doing commercial and industrial window installations as well as architectural metalwork, a tough, skilled labor job with a great pay. One morning, I literally couldn't get up. My legs weren't working right. My brain wasn't working right. The pain was too much, and that is coming from a man with a very, very high pain tolerance. I peacefully fall asleep when I get tattoos. I lost my job as I couldn't show up to work anymore. I started to have an increase in unusual dreams and felt non-physical energies everywhere in my life. Things were getting far more mystical and strange. Then, on October 10th, 2016, 10:10, I had a very painful stroke and survived. The years afterwards, all the way until 2018, 2020, I was in and out of victim mentality, feeling hopeless, dealing with strong suicidal ideation. I was under many different medications as I had been misdiagnosed for different mental illnesses when in fact I had 2 brain tumors that were hijacking my endocrine systems. I felt so weird in my own body and wanted to die a lot of the times. Though I was feeling pitiful and was a victim to my circumstances, there was still that pure, unstoppable fighting spirit within me that kept me from truly giving up. I had a lot of good people that came into my life at the right time, and if it weren't for them, my journey going through the most darkest years of my life would have had a different outcome. I was very blessed to have truly good people step in and hold me up when my own family couldn't. Some of these people I've never even met physically. Some of these people were on the internet, such as the Peace Dealer from YouTube and his astrological insights. My brother, if you listen to this, I love you and I appreciate you and I thank you for the work that you've done. Same goes for Magenta Pixie. I love you and I thank you and I appreciate all the work that you've done, for they have helped me through the darkest years of my life. During those years, I made a career from the ground up and gained a reputation in Portland, Oregon as a great leader and community organizer for social and environmental nonprofits. Around the time I received the news about my brain tumors, I was on my way to Atlanta to participate in a collaboration with nonprofits from all over the world. It was truly amazing. In 2019, I was personally asked to apply for a position for a world-respected nonprofit called Columbia Riverkeepers. I am a water protector. This was the best, highest paying job I ever had, and I made it happen all on my own while going through tremendous crisis. The organization I worked for was actually jump-started by Robert Kennedy Jr. and was a member of the Waterkeeper Alliance, one of the world's largest organizations protecting water all over the world. Before I was offered this job to protect the Columbia River, I applied for Social Security disability thinking that I have a strong enough case to be accepted. I put so much hope in being on Social Security disability because I was tired and trying to keep a roof over your head while going through all these different things was almost too much to bear. I don't know how I did it. Sometimes I borrowed money. I just wanted to be done. I wanted to not have to work and to just be left alone, knowing that my disability check would be enough to cover my basic needs. Thankfully, I was denied for Social Security benefits despite having a stroke, brain tumors, and bodily injuries from hit by cars. Once again, I felt hopeless. I felt the betrayal from the world all over again, just like when that woman lied in court and the judge ruled in her favor. I had to pull myself together and start summoning a greater strength within me that I know was there. I started doing intense breathing exercises every day. I would wake up at 5 a.m. before work and take ice baths for months. I took the job opportunity and found exactly how much more I'm capable of. I began feeling a more profound purpose in life. I'm sharing all of this with you all today because it's been 10 years since this all started and supposedly the world is going to end tomorrow. I'm sharing this because for anyone out there that has been going through the ringer, I want you to know that ultimately you are the one in control of how you are going to respond and empower yourself. You have to learn how not to be a victim, even if cars are running you over, even if people are lying in court, even if you have a stroke and brain tumors. You can't be a victim. You have to choose to be stronger and keep recreating yourself in the process. You are your greatest enemy, no matter what is happening in your life. If you are not even trying to help yourself by meditating or breathing or praying or reading a book or doing anything that is going to for sure increase your vibration, then don't complain. Don't make the world responsible. You have to fight for your life, and no one said it's going to be easy. You have to learn to be strong, and you will never know how strong you actually are until you have no choice. It took years for my life to transform and for the nightmare to be over. I went through many transformations. I have to be persistent and not give up. If you get hit, get back up and keep going. I am so grateful for being denied Social Security benefits because my life and mission is so much more than to just live in a shitty apartment, cashing a check and smoking weed, watching YouTube all day. I do what I do today to be of service to the world, to be of service to you, and I approach each and every one of my clients with the same compassion I give myself, with the same honesty I gave myself. I walk with you on your journey and will only lift you up and never break you down. If you have been with me so far, thank you for hanging out with me. And as I always say, love and light, death and darkness, full spectrum. My name is Mauro Mijares, certified clinical hypnotherapist and astrologer. I am the Blu-ray Bodhisattva.